Shalom, Rabbi Jenny Solomon here in Raleigh, North Carolina, here on Election Day, November 3rd, 2020. And so as a mincha moment, as an opportunity for reflection and centering and grounding on this Election Day afternoon, I wanted to offer a little bit of Torah that has to do with sitting with discomfort. So I don't know about how you feel today, but I certainly am grappling with all kinds of anxiety, worry, concern, and ultimately discomfort. And this is something that, of course, we don't need to only grapple with on Election Day. It is part of the human experience. So in this week's Torah portion, Vayera, Abraham, our forefather, we read that he sits on the outside of his tent, Petach HaOhel, on the opening of his tent, Kechom Hayom, in the heat of the day. And our understanding of this moment, according to tradition, is that Abraham is actually healing from his own circumcision. And God appears to Abraham sort of as somebody who would visit the sick, as somebody who would come and bring compassion and kindness to someone who is in the active stages of healing. So it's very interesting that Abraham, in this moment of healing, of discomfort, that he sits on the outside of his tent, right? Because it could have been otherwise. Abraham could close himself in his tent, and flap, close the flap. Abraham could have been in a position to blame others and to sort of call others out for his own discomfort, his own pain, his own suffering. But instead, he sits, and he sits on the opening of his tent. There's a beautiful teaching in Pirkei Avot, in the Ethics of our Sages, that says, Marbe Yeshiva, Marbe Chochma. That the more we sit, the more we grow in wisdom. So there's something about the power of sitting. And I say this as a person who loves to sit in meditation. There's something about the power of sitting that allows us to grow in wisdom. And I'm going to talk about 3 different ways that we can work with our discomfort. The first is focused on this quality of emmet, of truth. So when we sit with our discomfort, there is a natural agitation, and we want to some way mitigate that, either through distraction, numbing, denying that it's actually happening, all kinds of things that our minds and bodies will try to do to sort of at least momentarily escape our discomfort. But one of the ways that we can work, I think, in a more wholesome and more wisely, is actually to stop resisting and to just be with the truth of this moment, which is that we're uncomfortable, that our hearts hurt, that we feel discomfort in the body even. So can we hold that discomfort with a quality of emmet, of truth? The second is to be with our discomfort with a quality of chesed, of loving kindness and compassion. So one of the ways that we can be with our discomfort with chesed is actually to hold our discomfort kind of in a larger view. So we might do that by noticing all of the things that are in fact not uncomfortable. In other words, the things that are working, the parts of ourselves that feel whole, the parts of the world that feel good. There's all kinds of ways to sort of hold our discomfort in a larger frame so that we can feel the goodness of the bigger picture. We can also meet our discomfort with words of kindness and compassion in the sort of tone and spirit of Sylvia Borstein, sweetie, You're in pain. This hurts. All kinds of ways to talk to ourselves with loving kindness and compassion as we experience our own discomfort. And the third is to see if we can actually incline our hearts to others who are feeling discomfort. So I think there's a way when we extend ourselves to others who are also in the midst of their own struggle, that we can help heal our own hearts at the same time. So 3 different ideas, 3 different, I think, wise and wholesome ways that we can be with our own discomfort, all while sitting, literally, but also more figuratively. We don't have to go far to do this work, and it's important work, but we can be with our discomfort with a quality of truth, stop resisting what's actually happening. We can be with our experience with a quality of chesed, of loving kindness and compassion, seeing it in the larger frame, offering ourselves words of healing and mercy, consolation. And then seeing if we can incline our hearts to others who may also be feeling discomfort. And in connecting with others, we find that perhaps not all of our discomfort is alleviated, but some significant measure is mitigated, and we can walk with a little bit less suffering, maybe even a little less pain, certainly a little less discomfort in feeling our connection to others. I hope this is helpful and inspiring Torah on this election afternoon, and that everyone's taking good care of themselves. There's a lot going on in our world. There's a lot going on in our own personal lives, in our hearts. And so I hope everybody does something good for themselves today. It's a beautiful day in North Carolina, a great day to step outside and breathe the fresh air, to notice the sky and the birds and the trees and all the goodness that abounds, to be grateful for all the citizens who are not only performing their duty by voting, but are serving in our polling stations in all kinds of capacities. There's so much goodness all around. So wishing everyone peace and shalom on this election day.